Imagine, you have just crossed the vast desert plains of Mesopotamia and now stand before one of the greatest cities the world has ever known. The year is around 600 BC, during the golden reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II. Before you rises the legendary city of Babylon. At this moment, the largest and most magnificent metropolis on earth, home to nearly 200,000 people. The air carries the scent of the Euphrates River, mixed with the aroma of baking bread, roasting meat, incense from the temples, and the rich earth of the famous Hanging Gardens. Massive fortified walls stretch for miles, protecting a city that feels like the very center of the world. And right in front of you stands the glorious Ishtar Gate, a towering entrance covered in brilliant blue glazed bricks, adorned with golden reliefs of fierce lions, wild bulls, and mythical dragons. This gate is not merely an entrance. It is a statement of divine power and royal glory. As the first light of dawn touches the horizon, Babylon begins to stir. The great Euphrates River flows steadily through the heart of the city, its waters nourishing fields, canals, and the legendary terraces of the Hanging Gardens. Fishermen are already on the river in small reed boats, casting nets for carp and other freshwater fish. Along the banks, women fill clay jars with water, while farmers prepare for another day in the fertile fields irrigated by an advanced system of canals and levees. You walk through the Ishtar Gate along the Grand Processional Way, a wide, paved street lined with walls decorated with rows of striding lions in bright colors. This avenue leads directly toward the sacred heart of the city. Merchants are setting up their stalls in the bustling marketplaces. Here you can find almost anything the known world has to offer. Dates and barley from local farms, wool and textiles woven by skilled artisans, spices and incense from distant Arabia, bronze tools, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, and even goods brought by river trade from the Persian Gulf. The city is a true melting pot. Babylonians in long tunics and shawls move alongside traders from Phoenicia, Persia, and the lands of the exiled Judeans who were brought here after the conquest of Jerusalem. Scribes sit in the shade of palm trees, pressing wedge-shaped signs into soft clay tablets with their styluses, recording contracts, taxes, loans, and daily transactions in the ancient cuneiform script. This is a highly literate and bureaucratic society where writing is part of everyday administration. Morning light now fully illuminates the towering Etemenanke, the great ziggurat dedicated to the god Marduk, known to later generations as the possible inspiration for the biblical Tower of Babel. This massive stepped temple tower rises in 7 levels, its base vast and its top reaching toward the heavens. Priests in elaborate robes climb the external ramps and stairs, carrying offerings of bread, dates, oil, beer, and sacrificial animals. Incense smoke drifts upward as they perform the daily rituals to honor Marduk, the patron deity of Babylon, who is believed to bring prosperity and protection to the city. Nearby stands the great temple complex of Esagila, where more priests tend to the statue of Marduk. The gods here are treated almost as living beings. They are washed, dressed, fed, and entertained with music each day. Ordinary citizens gather in the outer courtyards to watch processions or offer their own smaller prayers and gifts. Religion is not separate from daily life. It is woven into every aspect of existence. As the sun climbs higher, the heat of the Mesopotamian day begins to build, but the Euphrates and the clever canal system bring cooling breezes and fresh water. In the royal palaces built by Nebuchadnezzar, officials and scribes manage the affairs of a vast empire that stretches from the Mediterranean to the edges of Persia. The king himself is often praised not only as a conqueror but as a great builder who has restored and beautified Babylon with new walls, temples, and public works. You wander deeper into the residential quarters. Mud brick houses with thick walls keep the interiors surprisingly cool. Families prepare meals of barley bread, porridge, dates, onions, lentils, and occasionally fish or meat. Children play in the narrow streets while artisans work at their crafts. Potters shaping clay vessels, weavers creating fine textiles from wool, and metalworkers forging tools and jewelry. Music drifts from some homes, the sound of lyres, flutes, and drums accompanying songs about gods, heroes, and everyday joys. Noon brings intense sunlight, yet the city does not slow down. In the main squares and near the processional way, traders haggle over prices, using silver as currency or bartering goods directly. Astronomers and priests associated with the ziggurat study the movements of the stars and planets from elevated platforms. Babylonian scholars are among the most advanced in the ancient world, recording celestial events that help predict seasons, floods, and omens for the king. In the shadow of the Hanging Gardens, one of the great wonders said to have been created by Nebuchadnezzar for his Median wife Amytis, who missed the green hills of her homeland. Servants carry water up through an ingenious irrigation system. Tiered terraces rise like a green mountain in the middle of the dusty plain, covered with exotic trees, flowers, shrubs, and vines brought from distant lands. Water cascades down in small streams and fountains, creating a cool, fragrant oasis that seems to float above the city. Visitors and citizens alike gaze in wonder at this engineering marvel. Afternoon activities include administrative work in the palaces and temples. Scribes record everything from tax collections to legal disputes on clay tablets that will later be baked hard for permanence. Babylonian law, building on earlier traditions like Hammurabi's code, governs contracts, marriages, debts, and punishments with remarkable detail. As the sun begins its descent, the sky over Babylon turns a fiery orange and gold. The blue Ishtar Gate and the tiers of the ziggurat catch the warm light beautifully. Torches and braziers are prepared for the coming night. Families gather for the evening meal, sharing stories and news of the day. Musicians and storytellers entertain in public spaces, recounting tales of gods and ancient kings. Evening brings a special magic to the city. The Hanging Gardens, now lit by soft torchlight, appear even more enchanting as shadows play across the terraces and waterfalls. Along the Euphrates, boats tie up for the night while guards patrol the massive city walls that are wide enough for chariots to pass each other. Night falls fully over Babylon. Thousands of torches and oil lamps create a sea of flickering light across the vast urban landscape. At the top of the Etemenanke ziggurat, priests and astronomers continue their watch of the stars, mapping the heavens with astonishing accuracy. In the temples, the evening rituals continue with chants, music, and offerings. From a rooftop in the city center, you can see the full spectacle. The glowing Ishtar Gate, the illuminated processional way, the dark ribbon of the Euphrates reflecting the lights, and the towering silhouette of the ziggurat reaching toward the starry sky. This is a city at the height of its power, a center of trade, religion, scholarship, engineering, and culture that influences the entire known world. 24 hours in ancient Babylon are coming to an end, yet the city remains alive in our imagination. A place of towering gates, floating gardens, mighty ziggurats, and a people who believed they lived at the very foundation where heaven meets earth. If you enjoyed this journey through time, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which ancient city you want to visit next. Perhaps it will be Rome at its peak, the temples of Angkor, the streets of Chang'an, or the harbors of Carthage. Thank you for spending these 24 hours with us in the heart of Mesopotamia. Until our next meeting in the past.